Welcome back to another video on the Wizard Build series. About a month ago, I took this to school, just because I like to drive it faster than taking the bus. Right before I was about to leave, I noticed that the storage rack was angled off a little bit. If you look at it straight, it's pointing off and towards that direction. So when I got home, I looked at it and I found out that the little mount at the front here fell off. You can see the bolt is still hanging in there, but it should be over this way. So now if I lift up on it, as you can see, it just kind of moves around by itself. It still is held in, like I can pick the entire bike up with it just because it's held in with two supports here and here, and I think the fender is attached to it as well, somewhere under the saddlebags. It still is strong, but I'd prefer to have all three mounts if I can. I already remade that mount because the original one fell off as well. But the one I remade also fell off, so let's see if we can make a new one. First step is to get the stock metal. I have this nice piece of metal that I've been using ever since I started working on this. You can see my clutch is made of the exact same type of metal. It all came from this piece. So I marked off a piece at 3.5 inches, I believe. Because I just measured from the top little mount there. And it was 3.5, so cutting this off the same. Now I have to cut it with a hacksaw. And the other piece I made, I angled it. So it kind of went with the contour of the bike. I don't think I'm going to do it with this one. I might not. It's not really that important. I have the piece cut and sanded, and I already have a hole marked for it because that's where the bolt has to go through. You can see it's a little shiny. I put it on the belt sander after I filed it a little bit. You can see the reflection. I don't know why this metal... the metal has a bow to it. On this side it bows outwards, so you can see it's shiny in the middle. On this side it's shiny on the outside. It's weird, but it's something I noticed a while ago. Anyway, I'll drill the hole and I'll be back. I got the piece drilled, and I just made sure that it would actually fit on there, and it does. Found some spare hardware that I could use. And this time I'm using a lock washer because I don't believe the original one had one, which is why it fell off, and I don't think I put any other one on when I rebuilt it. So a lock washer is going on this. But before I put this on, I do want to paint it just so it doesn't stand out too much. I like to try and hide these accessory parts. Like my front brake mount is the same color as the frame. I think it's the same color. I'm partially colorblind. Other people say it's not, but whatever. It's still red. So I'm going to spray paint this red, and then when that's done drying, I'll put that on. The piece has been painted. As you can see, a little excess on the bottom there. That doesn't matter though. Looks good. It'll match the bike, or at least it won't stand out as much. So now, fun part begins. We get to watch paint dry. Get in there. There we go. And it'll stay up there until probably tomorrow. So when that's done drying, I'll put it on. It's the next day and all of the paint is dry. Feels good. So now the next step we have to do is put it back on the bike. The storage rack mount is all hooked up. It looks good. Paint looks similar, so that's good. At least doesn't stand out too much. I did have to get a longer bolt just because I put 2 lock washers on it, just to make sure it wouldn't fall off because I'm tired of replacing it. So that should hold it. It does stick out a little bit. I don't care because I have the saddlebag up right now, and when it's down, you still don't really notice it because you have to be like looking right in that area if you want to see it. I might have tightened it down a bit too much. You can see it bows. That's fine though. Shouldn't come off. So that's all done. Now I can actually pick it up. Every time I picked it up before, if I would lift it up, the entire front end would lift up as well. But now when I pick it up, it doesn't move. I can shake it, shakes the entire bike. So I'd say that's pretty successful. Hope you enjoyed the video.